Here we go. Number 31, the Darkness to Light Godcast. Welcome back if you're returning, for joining me. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. I have been in a lot of pain over the last week. Back injury that I've had since I was the original injury, probably 13, 14, 15, first time I got it. And it's always the same one. It's right in the centre of the back, but the sciatic nerve and the sciatic pain down the hip, through the stomach, into the groin, into the foot yesterday, which was interesting. I saw it a couple of days ago. First time was interesting. And since last Thursday, when it went, people say my back's went. If you've never experienced it, well done to you, and I hope it remains that way forever. If you have had your back go on you, as I did last Thursday, just out the shower and I was getting dry, and I just turned and ended up on the floor. And the next few days up until yesterday was this, until Tuesday, so it was 4 days of just tears of pain. I don't mind admitting. It was very, very difficult. It was in points. It was a fucking nightmare. Crawling up the stairs, like having to turn over from my side to my back and knowing the pain that was involved in it, right through the centre of my spine. It was horrible. It's been very, very, very challenging. I've been sleeping okay, which has been good. And you know, I kind of did try to keep going a wee bit. I planned when it happened last Thursday. I thought, right, okay, well, we know how this goes. Well, it was actually, I couldn't even get in the ice tub until, it was the first time I was in. Was that Monday? So I couldn't even lift my leg up to basically get in the barrel, which was terrible. Nor did I have the chi for getting in it either, which is quite interesting. And the whole thing, after the last kind of couple of weeks, the last probably whatever it's been since Aaron's birthday, that fateful day when I got the everything virus and fell to bits. The whole process from then until now, over the last couple of weeks, still bunged up all the time, really kind of snottery, and feeling a bit better, I think, definitely the last few days in terms of physically. I don't feel buggy, I don't feel virusy, anywhere near that I have done for the last probably 5-6 weeks. So that's definitely getting better. My breathing's getting better. My ability to breathe in terms of my chiropractor last week, and that's definitely helped, as well as the breathing practices I've been doing has been good, and the meditation practices have been really helping. But last week again, it was just more indications of, you know, the need for me to do something a wee bit different and change it up and take stock and see where I am, because of what's coming up. There's a lot coming up in the turn of the year. So this one, number 31, is called Stopping. It's like active recovery for me just now, after the week that I had last week, which really, Friday morning I called off the Friday night in, which is, I think it's the second thing I've ever cancelled. I don't ever really cancel stuff. I couldn't walk. I actually couldn't walk, and I'd been in tears a couple of times that day with pain. It wasn't pretty, and the place was a riot. It was frozen ice, so the barrel needed defrosted. The pipe, the hose was frozen. There was a ton bag delivery of wood, which my son had started, but so I was relying on him coming in Friday night after work to basically do that for me, and then the sauna was kind of needing done. And I was just so limited in terms of what I did, bits and pieces, but it was a nightmare, and even tidying the whole inside of it. The place is immaculate when people walk through the gates, everything from the outside gate right through, and it was just, which is normally 3-4 hours work for me, which I love doing. It's part of my Friday. I love it. It's a part of the process, preparing the sacred space, you know, for what's about to unfold. Of course it matters. And Thursday I was planning on starting it and defrosting the place and getting the hairdryer outside and trying to get the pipes frozen so I could get the barrel emptied, because I'd been unable to get in it and use it and clean it out. It was leaking cleaned out. It had been 4 or 5 days probably, and the place was a riot, and it was just like, right, okay, so I called it off Friday morning, which was really disappointing. You know, I felt I was looking forward to it. There was a few people coming who I know, a few new people coming as well, which I was excited for, and there's a lot of good momentum running about the Friday nights in again over the last wee bit, which is magic. It kind of died away probably this time last year, get really quiet, which allowed space for other stuff, but the Friday night is a great night, and to cancel it wasn't great. And I just end up had one of the days that was just terrible from start to finish, and it just seemed to get worse and worse. I broke a bit of an ear off a bridge, which I've just had repaired today. It was one of the things that so many things were going on. There was a concert I've been looking forward to. This was probably the cherry on the cake. Loads of different things were going on. How bad things were, where I was feeling. Poor me, like I just keen to get going. 1 step forward, 5 back. The pain, the inability to do what I wanted to do. Really missing the golf. It was all that. And then at night, I've been looking forward to a concert. Paul Weller was playing in the Barrowlands, which right from the very beginning we tried to buy the tickets like a year ago, maybe more. It was just a nightmare from the beginning. Couldn't get into the site. The usual, that fucking Ticketmaster bullshit with whoever the bots and the companies that. It's just a joke, so we ended up getting tickets on the second-hand market, and I wasn't sure if we'd been ripped off, so the whole thing's been a nightmare. But apparently it was going to be in December, so I've been looking forward to it like you have no idea. And the reason is that Paul Weller, I was forbidden when I was in primary 6 or 7. The Jam were my first ever band, the first ever vinyl record that I bought. I received it as a birthday present, I think. It was in primary 5 or 6, which would be the Jam. So I was into Paul Weller back then. And I remember there was a concert at Barrowlands, and one of my best mates at the time, his big brothers were going to see the Jam at the Barrowlands, playing live. And I remember begging my mum and dad to go, and there was just no way it was going to happen. And the story went, they went, and either they met them or somebody met them and get backstage and were eating pieces of jam with them or something. It was one of these stories that, as a kid, I was devastated. So to think that I've seen Paul Weller 3 or 4 times now, and I just, the thought of going to the Barrowlands with my boy and seeing Paul Weller, it was like going full circle. And I was going to get drunk. I was just going to go and hit the Guinness and get a couple of whiskies into me with my boy and have a night at it and just like I put closure on it. So on the Friday afternoon, Jill came in and basically said that Paul Weller concert that's on in December, it was actually on, I think it was the 30th of October, so we'd missed it. And we've not even spoken about it yet. It's too early, so it's been, it was one of the days, and really me, like, I'm right, okay, what am I doing? I need to get back in the pink here. I'm so far off my vibe. Feeling really good spiritually, incidentally, feeling magic, feeling good. Looking alright at certain times, depends when you see me. If you'd have saw me over the weekend, God bless my wife and the work that she did with me. One of the mornings where I was done. Depending on when you get me. Just now I'm alright. I'm in a wee bit of pain. I'm kind of just trying to move about on it. And it does affect you, of course it does, when your nervous system's firing all the time. You're producing stress and chemistry all the time. And because I don't take painkillers, the only thing I'm really doing is breathing, meditation, relaxation, absolutely, and the cold. I've been in the sauna a couple of times, which definitely helps as well. But when you're not feeling good and it's been a few days yet, then I can see it myself. If you'd have saw me at probably 5:30 this morning before I got up and went to the bathroom and had a look in the mirror on the way by, it wasn't pretty. I caught myself a couple of times when I was hobbling about and I just saw my dad. I grew up with my dad having a sore back as well, so it's technically his fault. The bad genetics or DNA, whatever it is, we've got a McFadyen back. And it's been a nightmare in some ways and an absolute blessing in others, because it forced me to stop. I've had to stop. I have stopped. And it's on the back of, I think, the last couple of weeks since the last ceremony retreat, where the stuff that is unfolding and coming through in terms of the team and the mission and what's going on within the Vortex, and what the plans are and how it's developing, how it's expanding, the people that are getting on about it and the more that are wanting to get on about it and help, it's definitely changing. The whole thing is shifting in a great way. I'm really, really enjoying it. Just the last couple of days, I think, for the first time in a wee while, off the back of the year we've had. But the stage we're at just now, I really feel as if, I'm not saying my job is done, but for this stage and where I'm at just now, I need to back off a wee bit because of what we've done, what I've done in terms of my expansion, the work I put in this year. since this time last year, really, when Michael and Fern get round about it, and then for January time, it's been non-stop, you know. So I am really kind of feel as if I've done what I need to do for now. I need to back off it a wee bit, or by the time January comes when we go again, then it's like the football players just now. Watching the football players, I've always known this. When they go to a World Cup and they don't get a break in the summertime, by the time it gets to October, November, they're done. You know, they're burst and their motivation goes, and you can't be bothered. You're stagnant. It's the same. It's repetition. It's boring. You become stale with it. And for the next wave that's coming for us, you know, the team and for myself and the role that I'm going to play in that, I need to be right, you know. So now is the perfect time, as I realised last week. I didn't have a choice. I had to stop. You know, I really had to basically, right, this isn't working. You're no well, in many different fronts. I think emotionally. Burnt out, just absolutely. I had nothing left. I woke up on Sunday morning and I was sitting in my meditation early, and I just felt so empty, drained, as if I had nothing else left to give, which I've never really had before, I don't think. This work, and I am a giver. All I do is basically, the intention is to give yourself away. Once you get it for yourself, you pass it on, don't you? That's what this work is. And I never ever look for it for myself. I never try to get it for myself, in terms of the support network or people around about me. I've never really looked for that. It's certainly not for a long time. I get everything I need for God, and then my wife and my Waynes and my Doug. I don't really need much external to that. But when Sunday morning when I got up, I just felt as if, for the first time ever maybe, you know, I was really aware of, you know, all of that not being there, and the desire to probably have some of it there. I was missing my mum, you know, so my mum. My dad was away on holiday. He was still, he was away. I missed him on my birthday. Oh my God, did I miss, like, knowing my mum and dad, which sounds bonkers at 53, but you just, birthdays are a great time to take stock, aren't they, and see how you're doing, you know. So I was thinking a lot about my mum. I could feel her presence all day. It was magic, the whole day. It was a fantastic day, and thanks to everybody for your wishes, much appreciated. Getting older and watching my own journey and documenting it, and seeing what's coming up for everybody else as you get older. It's no easy. But I suppose the Sunday morning when I checked in with myself and I thought, right, what's missing here? What do I need? I need to look after myself better. I need to start to tend to my physical body much better. This well-being, quite funny, the Vortex as a centre for well-being, it's never been about like physical well-being really ever. It's been about spiritual well-being, emotional well-being, mental well-being, but physical, I think because it's not been my focus and I've not really needed to do it to this point. My physical body has always been compromised. I think that's part of one of my challenges, definitely. Because of the vaccine damage and all of the above. My physical body has not been able to, I think, a lot of ways support a lot of my skills and my talents. I think in football, the abilities I had, my body just couldn't keep up. Golf's another one where my back goes and I'm sore, and so there's all sorts of things where my physical body has let me down so many times and been ill all in my life. Since the vaccine damage. So since I've been 12, 13 years old, thinking a lot recently about, what I was like before that, and I can remember it. Particularly primary school, where with a ball under my arm, that was my whole life, and every playtime until last thing at night and first thing in the morning, I was playing football. I just had boundless energy, and then from 12, 13 onwards, then very different. I've been really, really sick, compromised just enough to make it shitty a lot of the time. A lot of people probably wouldn't notice it or wouldn't recognise it. Maybe because of how active I was and on the go and up for it, just full of life. Jill used to call me Jimmy again for anything when we met. So I was like a spaniel. That's why Murph got on so well. I'm like a bloody spaniel, and I used to be really forward going, let's go and do it. And I lost a lot of that. Absolutely. I think because of the vaccine stuff, as well as life experience and all the stuff that I've done to myself and the things that I've been blessed with in this lifetime, it absolutely has an effect on you. Of course it does, in so many different ways. It's fascinating, for me to watch, the stage and the bit that I'm at within my own journey at this age, and looking back now, and really savouring and realising the journey and what it's taken to get to this point, and knowing what I really need that's a huge part of it. Being aware of what do I actually, for me and my responsibility and my roles within, especially this work, especially this mission. What's the bit that I'm going to be playing in it, and what I need to do to be ready for that, so that when the lights turn on to me, or the mic gets handed to me, or it's my turn, so I'm ready to go. So I've been forced to stop, and I'm absolutely, I'm feeling better already. I really do. I'm feeling good for the first time in ages. I'm really looking forward to this bounce. I'm looking forward to some extended time getting myself together and every front. Spiritually, it's been fantastic the last probably week or so. The meditations, really since the retreat, been back in that sacred space again with those people at that level. Was a big shift. That's been a huge buoyancy aid for the whole programme. Thanks to everybody that was on that, and the previous ceremony as well. There's something happens when you get around about the kind of people that have been through such a cleansing, uplifting, purifying, regenerating, life-changing, world better making. So much goodness happens during that weekend, that what comes back, the people that come back, when you're able then to be around about them after it, as we all are. And I've spoke to them personally, many of them, as well as the kind of group stuff online after it, the reintegration stuff. It's just amazing to be around about people and see the difference in them and what they bring to the world and how they light this in them. It's amazing. It's been, and I've felt absolutely, a lot of stuff I learned on that weekend for myself, and what I need, the realisation that I'm still, that there's now a bit of healing for me today. It feels like, after being off it since probably 2016 when I opened this place, I'm just been teaching it, I've just been passing it forward and paying it on and trying to get it to the world. By God, I've been trying, I've been knocking lumps at it, for, feels like forever. And the realisation with that last week was that, right, okay, I've obviously I've gotten this to a certain point, and I've created what I've done, and it's all there now. We've got a whole thing now, the whole thing, everything's there. To go through everything we've created and how it's put together, and it's amazing to think that's what we've got. Well done to Michael and Fern, and myself as well. We've done it all together. Excuse me a wee second. This is my daughter's flask. It's just in case you think, whatever you think. It's a bit of mint tea. I still feel my throat a wee bit as well. It just that came on me yesterday, strangely enough. I was talking about the stopping and the stage and the preparation and what I'm needing and what's coming through and the people that are there, and after the ceremony coming in and watching, me now, what I've seen very quickly, especially the spiritual stuff, when I've really tended to myself and started to focus on myself and started to put some time into myself properly. It's taken me a few weeks to get away from the 5:30 every morning and feeling the guilt or how's the group doing, and really going, you know what, I really need this myself, and I really need to step away from that, the whole responsibility of it. The recordings are there. There's hundreds of recordings now, 5 months worth at least, plus all the other stuff. There's a whole programme there. We've got an app now. You can get in through the app. There's so many ways to go up and get it, and it's just really a kind of that choice to get up and do it. Whereas I felt as if I was not having to do it for people, but I was obviously leading it, and that took a lot out of me. And I certainly didn't get any of the stuff that I'm now getting. When I was doing that, I was working every day. Interesting, the experience last night when you're working and you're DJing the music and the sounds and the controls and the messages, and people are getting booted out the Zoom or losing connections, having to let them back in. There's a lot going on, so there's no way you can get the deep spiritual stuff, the reconnection and the connection and the inspiration when you're doing that kind of stuff. And that was every morning for me, which was my time. That was meditation in the morning time. That was my sacred time, to get into alignment and get the stuff I needed for the day. And I hadn't been doing it. So to think that all that's now there, and I'm all right now for the first time in the last few weeks, I've kind of settled down and go, right, okay, I need to get this myself. I've got a wee bit of time here between now and Christmas. I'm going to get it for myself. I'm going to tend to myself. I'm going to put some time into me. And then all of a sudden, all these new concepts, like self-love, which was last night, because I'm really getting time to go in and mull over my own previous experiences, when I really had it and I really got it. When I've been off it, you spend a lot of time thinking about the stuff that you were doing when you were really on it, and you don't really consciously take notes when you're on it and you're in it and you're flying, you're in that flow, because it's just happened naturally in that flow space. There's nothing really conscious about it. But when you're off it and you've got time, as I have had with my back, to look at myself and go, right, what the fuck is it? What are we doing? And what else can I do? And what's the next step? Then, when you start to mirror, when you start to go back in and mirror your old behaviours and the way you were thinking, and I mean, it's really bad, which it was for me, then the first thing to do is to stop. That's the thing. That's why this phase I'm in just now. I'm not trying to get anywhere, and I'm not trying to the stuff that's coming. We're working in the background, the entire team, but that's for January, February time. So there's very much a time of the creation we've done all year. Just now, Abraham Hicks would teach that, you create it and you design it, and then you send the intention out into the world. And then there's a lag, so then you need to stop and allow it in. They would call that the art of allowing. And the art of allowing basically is about becoming a vibrational match. How mad does this sound? But it's the truth, I believe. When it comes to Abraham, I'm into it. So to become a vibrational match to that which you desire, to feel the way that you would be if it was already here. That's how the law of attraction really works, So that's why, being in that flow state and being happy, being joyful before it shows up is so important. Otherwise a lot of times it can't come, because you're looking at it and you're wondering why it's not here, and you're feeling the lack. Money's a great one for this. You don't have enough and you're wanting more, and you're doing all the work, and you're doing your incantations and your your journals and your vision boards, and it's still not here. Because you're looking at the reality and it's not here, and it's that lack vibration of when's it coming and why it's not here yet. And they would say it slows it down, it stops it coming towards you. So to become a vibrational match to all you desire, which means to come from the very end of everything you desire, what would it feel like to be there already? That's a bit that I've been starting to bring back in again. So instead of working hard to try and turn it around and stop the bleeding from every level of all that the physical bleeding, the emotional, the mental, the fucking, it's been a rough ride. It really has. It's been difficult, but not in vain. It's been magic as well. The lessons that I've learned, many new levels of empathy and compassion for human beings and suffering, and we kind of dip my toe in the water a wee bit of the human condition and what it's like to feel shit again. So difficult. That's any work when you're not feeling good, which is where most people are. So it was good for me to get a wee snapshot of it, but I'm very much looking forward to getting to the other side of it now and moving forward with it. Absolutely, I've had my bit. It's time to kick on, and the starter for 10 to kick on is by stopping and not kicking on. Funnily enough, you need to just stop, and that's what I've done the last week. I've just stopped. I gave myself a mission to stop. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing anymore. And at the exact same time, the group that's been forming within the inner circle, what I'm now saying to them is what it feels like, as I've verbalised on here, is that what are we going to do? What's the team going to do? There's many different parts to this, and the scale that we're trying to take it to, there's all different roles within it, and people, I can't do it myself, it's too big, and the intention with it, what we're going to plan to do with it is too big, so it's what are we going to do? And people are ready, they really are, for the first time ever, the people that are coming in to put in about the vortex and the mission, that are here to help and help the world and take it to the world, simply because of the experiences that they've had with this work. And some of them, everything from 6-7 years all the way up to months, some people weeks, and they can see and feel the benefits and the impact that it makes on everything. Everything, as Michael says, every single thing gets better. Everything that this work touches literally gets better. There's a reason as to why that is. There's ways that we're doing things with intention. Nothing's left to chance. There's many different levels to it, and that's why we're getting the results that we do. You just need to look at the comments. Again, thanks to people that are taking the time, the experienced comments coming in, and the Google reviews. And I were asking, can anybody can try and help us get the mission out there? But people are, they're not exaggerating. You can feel it. You can feel the truth that's in their statements as to what they're getting. And that last night, that was 31 minutes was the recorded music part of it. Spoke for 25 minutes probably, and then it was 30 minutes. So that very, very limited. And I'm thinking of ways I can expand upon that, because the people that are coming in every week to the experience, they really want to be. That's 25 minutes I should breathing probably, and relaxation. It's probably about as tight as I can do it. to try and get to that level, you know, of like experiencing self-love and connecting with God and realisation of all that you are. That's a wee bit short in time. An hour would be much better, or an hour and a half would be even better. So I'm thinking of doing something between now, maybe before Christmas actually, like set the vibration before that dude in the fucking suit comes. Him in the red suit and whatever that he brings, like setting your stall before it, setting your vibration before it, so you can get into it and enjoy it. I'm thinking of doing an extended class where you'll get the whole thing, you know, take you through, explain the breathing, explain the science behind the breathing, explain what's going on with it, what it impacts, what it makes better, and then obviously take you through the process of it, and then showing, like on a Friday night, and I would show probably 3 or 4 different ways to breathe in terms of, you know, the counts and, you know, where the emphasis is on, and different breath holds. There's loads of different things you can do with it that influence all the different systems of the body and help with all this stuff, you know, the journey we're on. So that's definitely something I would like to do. Really grateful for the people that take the time to, you know, say thank you and share their experiences, because that's the bit that's really coming through for me just now. I've been talking about it till I'm blue in the face. And with obviously some success. I would like more in terms of more people around about it, especially the programme. It's something that you know, benefits everybody. Learning to breathe even and be doing about this intentional way of living. I think everybody should at least get a wee kind of snapshot of it, and that's the plan with it, is to do that. And you know, one of the ways that's came through for me, meditation, is my desire to get the people that are around about me and allow them to start to speak about what this work is from their perspective, you know, and what it's done for them, and what it's doing for them, and where they're at, and the challenges they face, you know, so the good and the bad. You know, it's fascinating when you think about what we're actually doing. We're talking about spirituality, we're talking about meditation, we're talking about God, and we're talking about as one and enlightenment, and that's fucking mad to the outside world. Of course it is. You know, and the people that are doing about this, when they walk into their offices and you know, or the building site, or their jobs and their families, it's like Fight Club a lot of the time, you know, because you can't really tell. Like, don't talk about it first, really. Light Club. There's a programme within the Vortex called Light Club. There always has been. It's the highest level of, like, it's people that have really, really, really got it, and it's the enlightened ones, and it's kind of like that. People don't get it. Muggles, as big as Myra said. The muggles of the world, you know, the big bad world, and all the muggles that are in it, all the kind of the dumplings that are in it. It's a different language, it's a different way of living, you know. So that there's stuff to be considered. You don't just get back in the office and start talking about, or if people see you online, so people are aware of, like, how they share that, and I get all that. It's no easy. I remember when I came out, and I can just feel, even still, some people looking at me, and I can quite often, I'll wonder when I disappointed them, you know, whether they've picked up one of my recordings and the point where they actually, like, turned on me a wee bit, or they hear me talk about God and religion when I'm feeling great, and maybe they've saw me kick lumps out of somebody, and they changed my opinion on me. It's fascinating how it all goes together. You know, so for me, the people that are run about it, the experiences that they're getting, the way their lives are being, you know, changed, the quantum shifts in consciousness, the realizations of what they're getting. I would love for them to be in a position, and I would have loved for them to be in a position to like, come onto this kind of setup and do Zoom stuff if they can't make it here, and just have a conversation and talk about what it is, and normalise it, you know, so that they can put their perspective on it. And the plan with that would be, like, the more people that talk about it and get it out there and make it normal. Things like meditation, you know, things like even basics like cold exposure and how to do it properly, and sleeping, and how to manage your anxieties and your stress, and the significance of, you know, being selfish and tending to yourself. There's a whole way of living within this. There really is. It makes everything better. It's some great options and choices as to help you find relief and help you find your way, and get to a place where you know, enjoy your life in a different way, which is what it's all about. It's and you know, of me trying for all these years, and then watching the people coming on about me, and just letting it unfold, you know, letting it happen, and then knowing, like, right, okay, you guys, and they're ready. People are ready to talk. They want to talk about it. They're not embarrassed by it. It's normal now. It's okay to talk about meditation and cold exposure, and we're just maybe, you know, a wee bit further down the road in terms of the stuff that we're talking about. But that's fine, you know. There'll be people who are ready for that. You know, I've always felt that over the last 5-6 years with the cold exposure groups and all the mindfulness groups and stuff. That's like entry level, like even just basic waking up stuff, you know, and you know the stuff that I've put together over the last 28 years, and you can then they're stepping stones for a journey forever. You know, there really is, all the way to enlightenment. To get to the point or whatever it is, where you know the self-realisation, you don't need anybody, and that you are it. That's the plan, you know. So there's many levels to this, which is really exciting. So there's going to be shifts, there's going to be changes. That's why I've been mixing it up a wee bit with the gimbal, which me and Michael bought last start of the summer probably. Never really used it much on the phone. Dead easy, like 20 minutes. The plan is to do the light bits. I don't know whether it's light bites or light bits, but basically conversations, like topical conversations. I'm just going to go on and shoot the shit a wee bit about different things, maybe where the world is, maybe something I've got a perspective on. I take on things. I've been biting my tongue. I don't even like talking about him anymore. Wee McGregor, the challenges, the way that his life is about to implode over the next 20, 30, 40 years, however long he's got. You know, the guilty of a civil trial for rape. Which is something I've known about for a long time, even on the ascendancy. I remember my son was the first person, before he was even in the UFC, my son talking about him. Way back when we were at jiu-jitsu, and we were he used to follow, I don't know how he did it, but he used to follow, same with the football stuff, he always knew people in 3rd and 4th division, fascinating. And, you know, at the time, I remember the wee life coach, used to love him, talk about how amazing he was, wee Minimus. And I just, right at the beginning, I could see who he was. You know, he was doing all the attraction stuff, and right away, and I was like, nah. And then when the money came, and watching who he's became, and the stuff he's got away with, and who he is as a human being, and how people look up to him, I've got huge challenges with him. I've been having goes at him for years and years and years. This isn't something new, and I only see it going one way for him. I genuinely send him love, I really do. The devil and everything, the ego. And the everything that he is in terms of, you know, what I believe to be what a human being should be, is the opposite of that for many years now. You know, so I could spend a whole episode talking about him, and but I won't. So we're being topical as a point in shooting the shit about different things. It's important just now, the world. There's ways you can look at it. You know, I've been, again, when things start to find me, when I'm looking at things, and I've been looking into Middle Eastern politics and the state of world politics, and just to dip in and see where we are, so that I can, you know, bring some light into it when I'm sitting in meditation. That's the plan. Like, let's see where we are so we can make it better. And I'm optimistic. I really am. You got to be careful watching a lot of these people, these woke people as well. Who's your man? Fucking Neil Oliver. I saw him. I've seen him for the last year. And I watched him the other day, and I'm just thinking, fucking spineless. You know, all the days talk about the problems and how bad it is and who's ripping you off, and it's just a position of just fucking weakness. You know, there's no mention of, well, I don't watch him enough, to be honest with you. I watch 5 minutes, and it's the same message every single fucking time. You know, but it's like, you know, we need to become empowered. We need to find solutions. We need to make this better, not just talk about how bad it is and what their DNA is. That doesn't make it better. That's, you know, they're going to win if we continue that. It's time to fucking man up and stand up and speak up. And what is the way that makes it better? What is the solutions? Because none of them are talking about it. None of them. You know, and there only is one solution for all of this that makes it all better. And it's that reconnection process. It's dead simple. Reconnection back to yourself, switching off the stress, so all the fuckers with their needs to be right and their intellect and like dramatising it and just like, it's fucking just all clickbait and noise and just watching the amount of views that some of them get. Still talking about P. Diddy and who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? It's like, let it run out. Saw Rogan complaining the other day, one of his clips, another one about how there's still no list for your man Epstein, and he's like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? You know, it's part of the circus. It's all the circus. It's all distractions. It's none of it matters. You know, so, and the alien stuff and that, I was like, many smoke screens, you know. So where are the solutions within all that, guys? What is it? I saw Russell shouting about somebody, and obviously the circus, the elections in America, and it's like, nothing changes, it just keeps going. You know, between the Fitba and the fighting and the boxing, and shame on Mike Tyson and that absolute clown, you know, and just watching where people can even get caught up in that still. I love a wee pot because it flashes up between McGregor and them. I love having a wee dig at them in the comments. I really do. It's just sport. It's a wee bit of fun for me. It's one of my pastimes. And just fascinating to watch how people can get interested in that and invest in that and then be surprised by what happens with it. It's entertainment, you know. It's the WWE. It's like fucking gladiators on a Saturday night on the telly. It's rubbish. And it just shows you where people are that would go and watch that, and who cares? It's unless you're going to see it as like going to like a movie or a show, then that's great. Go and see it for that value and enjoy it for that perspective. It'll be a great night, you know. But you can't take they two, the Paul brothers, and come on, and that's where a lot of people are, which is very interesting. So none of that works. Quite obvious, the world's broken, on the verge of war, and getting worse. And the most powerful ones that make the most money for oil that continue to do what they're doing, and our very existences, and you know, questionable whether there's going to be there between now and Christmas. If you listen to the media, if you look at that, but if you go beyond that and you feel, you know, what's going on in the world, I've always liked the way that Putin does things. I've always liked the way that Russia does things. The thought of organic food and no crime, and you know, having religion. They're big on religion. They're big on there's no such thing as there's only us two sexes. I like that. I think that makes common sense to me. When I hear him speak, as I have done many times over many years now, it seems to make sense when he talks about his history and what their intentions are. And I'm not saying he's fucking squeaky clean. Of course, you don't get to that level and everything that he's done. But you know, it makes a lot more sense than the other side. You know, and what we're doing. You know, the madness of the West, and the way that we're running things, you know, it doesn't seem to be. I mean, you see the videos of what's happening in Russia and how clean it is and the lack of crime, and it looks all right. It looks like they're doing okay compared to the nick of this that we're in, you know. So the West is a really interesting place just now. It's a time for it's the survival of the most aware. That's what it feels like, and this is why, you know, in these times, if you do not have an internal practice, you know, this work that we are doing, this internal meditation and relaxation and getting out your head and tapping into that which is real. Some of the spaces that are being created, you know, some of the joint experiences that are being created in meditations and group work, it's very, very powerful. There's a lot of people really starting to get on about it in different ways that I probably didn't think would have happened as quick as this, but absolutely blessed by the fact that it is happening. And that's the antidote to this. You know, the reconnection back to the self is a starter for 10, then it's with each other. You know, and then Mother Nature, the river tonight, we go again, Maulesley Bridge, -4 last week, under the stars with the fire going. There was nothing like it in that river, you know, feet in the grasses. I was this morning out there, freezing cold, the barrel this morning, sitting just above freezing. Just a gift, getting back in it again and taking away my pain and doing what it does. So reconnection back to Mother Earth, absolutely. But then the divine, you know, every single bit is leading towards reconnection with the divine. And then from that, you know, as I tried to not just explain, but give the experience of it last night on the experience. Self-love, you know, what is that? To love the self, to tend to the self. What is love even? You know, that's the stage that I'm now getting to and really getting back into the stuff that I've learned and now talking about it and verbalising, because people are ready, people are asking, they've been through different steps to it, and now I'm just talking about where I am, which is great. It's definitely freeing me up more and more. Love for me is a field of, like an energetic field that when I had my first quantum experience, when I came back from it, you've heard me say many times, that's why I realised, when I realised that literally God is love, you know, that vibration that I became, that field of consciousness that took me in and Jim disappeared and I became. When I came back, you know, I felt that I'd been in union with the divine, straight away trying to make sense of it with the intellect and the mind so I could describe it to people. Realised that wasn't going to happen, so I had to go to my feelings and so what did it feel like? What just happened? And it felt like I became, not that I felt this field of love, but that it felt like that field that how do you explain, like real love, real authentic, a field of consciousness, to literally become it and become that feeling, and the impact that it made on all that I am, you know, the healings and the realisations and the shift that I got by becoming it. You know, that's the stage that we're at now. You know, we're talking about, you know, really quite advanced concepts of the divine and people getting the experience of it. That's the best bit. It's not just me talking about it and trying to fucking sell stuff. It's step by step, people getting on the programme and doing the work and the meditations and cleaning their diet up and becoming more aware and awake and and going on a journey of, you know, self-discovery to the point where they're reaching, you know, well, they're aiming towards self-mastery, but even wherever that is down the road, the bits in the meantime, the wee kind of snippets that they're getting along their way, even months in, even years in, it's enough, you know, it's a beautiful journey. It really is, you know. So that reconnection process is the only thing that makes it better. That's the solution. That's it. To be still and know that I am God. To know that the divine presence is in you, and to know the role that you play within this world, in Mother Nature, in our planet, in the, you know, the ecosystem, and, you know, the environment that we're in. You know, how everything matters. You know, the animals and the, you know, the rivers, and I've said on here loads of times, man's biggest sin, when we stand before God, it's the damage we've done to this planet, just with pollution. You know, and I don't buy the whole climate change and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that. I think it's a lot of that's man-made and created. But, you know, the toxicity, you know, what they're doing in the air, this is not here for, you know, it's nearly 2 months in and we're still snottering every day. What's going on, man? This isn't right. Never had this before, you know, we're dealing with new stuff. The impact I can feel, my respiratory system up here, like how bunged up I am all the time. What the fuck? You know, so there's stuff going on. We're dealing with new stuff. It's a very, very challenging place at the minute, the world. And we need to make it better and fix it from a different mind that created the problems, you know. So we need to get beyond all this low level human darkness and ego and satanic and just whatever the fuck they are. Who cares? You know, it's a time where so many have had enough of all of that because of the suffering they're experiencing in their own life. And we need to break the chains and do it in a different way. You know, and the worry for me has been whether that has to come through a war, you know, that affects enough people, that the realisation of, right, enough's enough, we need to change, and then the many rise up against the few, whether that's even possible, I don't know. Or whether, you know, through, as I'm feeling recently, how we might just get away with it. If your man comes in from America, who knows? I mean, who's controlling him? But if some sort of divine intervention, no through him, God, but if something, which again, I'm feeling a lot just now. I'm feeling like there's a real shift with a lot of people. There's a lot of people here to help at the minute. And when I say that, I mean metaphysically as well. There seems like there's a big shift on, a lot of light coming through. God, I sound like such a bloody hippie when I say that. But that's more experience just now. I'm becoming a wee bit more intuitive to certain things, especially with the energy work and meditations, where I'm tuning into certain things for whatever reason, I don't know. But I'm being more verbal with it. I can feel there's help here. I can feel the divine, which is needed, is showing up in many different ways. It's showing up in people that I know and the work that they're doing with helping people in ways that, you know, you just know that there's something happening. So probably best to leave it at that before we go too deep into it. It's a great time, it really is. The back pain, stopping, being off it, you know, suffering, the realisation of, you know, the next part of the mission, me preparing for what's coming next, people who have run about it, who want to help and are saying they want to help, you know, right, okay, so what are we going to do? Let's do it. This is exciting now. We're looking at sales teams to try and take this to the world so we can help people. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That was a big part of my business back in the day, you know, so there's going to be a business element coming to this as well, which I'm excited about. The exchange of us helping people and them gain us money so we can go and help more people and get what we need as well at the same time is brilliant. That's really exciting, you know, and being fair the whole way through that. I hear of some of the horror shows, especially some of the fucking clowns that are out there and the packages, 25, 30 grand for just bullshit, absolute bullshit. Snake oil salesman. I see there's more coming up. There's more coming to a city near you for the start of the year. Just the usual same old fucking sales lead generation bullshit about stuff that doesn't work, you know. And all the while, you know, for those that are going about it, the journey of the soul, the internal mission, the responsibility a lot of people are feeling, you know, as to the need and the desire to do work to get the world back on its feet again. That's a great place to be, you know. And unless you're interested in that, anybody that's interested in making money then and the ego and it for that, like, fuck off, I'm not interested. I couldn't care. I don't care what it is. But even with the corporate stuff, my intention with the work is not to make them better at their business, but to make them better human beings, you know, to help them reconnect back into themselves and sleep better and be better on about their wains, you know, and be better parents and partners and better fucking human beings, you know, by being able to manage their stress and being able to, you know, be more productive and hopefully with the reconnection process, see the world in a different way. and the impact that they can then start to have on it for anybody. Because that goodness is in all of us, So the mission is on for all of that. Really, really excited for what's coming up. There's loads of good things coming. The team, the squadcasts, getting people in. I'm even thinking of creating a new area within the boardroom, behind the camera, right in the corner, and doing I'm going to do like a low level, shooting the shit, sitting about on the bolsters in meditation, and just getting the boys in, and getting the lassies in, and getting the team in. Different groups, ceremony weekends, people that have been in the ceremony. We could bring in the boys club group, would be fantastic. Just get the boys in to shoot the shit, and start talking and talking what this is and what it's all about and what we're doing with it, and how it helps and how it's helping them, as well as the challenges they face, so that people can either say aye or no. I'm excited for that massively. There's a lot of good stuff going on. I'm enjoying stopping. I'm enjoying giving myself a break. I'm enjoying tending to myself. I'm enjoying loving myself, which is dead simple. The more I've been doing that and getting into that, I am loving that. The love that I give to others and give myself away, like turning it around and bringing it into myself, has been great. It's been so healing over the last kind of week or so. Many, many lessons. Much repair has already been done. There's more needing done. I'm needing body work done. I'm needing some energy work done, which we're working on just now. Excited for that. It's another area of the vortex. Healing with intention. Energy work, my own experiences with that, which is really exciting. The thought of having different practitioners would run about us, and having access to it myself. People of that level of intention and the light that's coming through them just now, and how they're tapping into the divine. We understand how the healing work takes place. It's not about doing symbols, and it's not about how you feel, and what the work is. It's not about that. Not at this level. This is about tapping into God and becoming a channel for the inspiration that comes through you and goes into them. By your intention, and the benefits that are received by everybody, because it's not you that's doing it. It's like angelic Reiki. Absolutely, but it's not you, it's the angels that come in. You're tuned to the angels, and then you become the fuel to the angels come in, and then everything's uplifted. This is very, very similar. I just go straight to God. I go straight to the divine, straight to the source, and do it that way. That's the way I've been doing it for years and years and years, and that's where some of the literal miracles, and I say that with my hand on my heart in my kid's life, some of the literal miracles that I've seen by people, whatever that is, coming through and bringing back into the light again. That's something I want for myself as well, as tending to myself, nourishing myself, Jim the human being, the lower self, the physical body's needing some repair. So that's really exciting, and the people that are interested in that. Again, the apprenticeship programme is what that's about, training people up. And whatever it is it's calling them. There's so many different bits to it, so many different skill sets between the breathing and the cold and the heat and the intentional life and the programme, and there's so many bits to it, and I'm just watching and asking, what do you want? What is it that's calling you? So just like a replica of what I do. What do you want to do? And then we'll design something that people can then go and expand in their own way and do their own work. That's what it needs to be. It's not just one way of doing it. Different people will hear different folks, and different people get different gifts to bring to this. So really excited. Everything's leading towards January, the launch of version 2. Big Michael, I love you, son. Just brilliant. Fern as well, obviously. I keep saying Michael first, Fern. I'm not apologising, because when I talked to him about the V2, which is his kind of baby, all the upgrades and everything that we're doing, it's just so uplifting every time I talk to him. He's been keeping me going for weeks now, and I'm starting to be part of it with him. We've got some new stuff coming through together. We're starting to co-create. I'm coming back after my hiatus. Even though I'm stopping, I'm still doing a lot of that kind of work, which I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying the creative side. I love the creative stuff, the poems, and as well as designing the workshops and the art, like helping with the artwork in terms of how it goes together in the word. And I like all that stuff. I really enjoy that. And the V2, when that gets launched, which is going to be the 1st of January, the plan is to have a launch, an official launch, which is looking like a big reset and reconnect for 2025. That's what it's feeling like up at Loch Lomond. The weekend before we go back to work is the idea of what I'm thinking now. That's kind of where we're at. And then we have now just confirmed the ceremony retreat dates, which are going to be February. They'll be launched as well before Christmas. It's going to be limited places, 12 places for this one. Again, up at Balmollock Farm. Really excited for that with Helen and Stuart. Really grateful for their space. And excited to get back up there again. Everybody should do that weekend, myself included. I would love to do that weekend. That is a gift from God, literally a gift from God, that whole weekend. What happens on that weekend, that's something that everybody should go through. If you're drawn towards the ceremony, and the ceremony is a reconnection back to yourself, that's what it is. And I would do all the stuff, every single bit of it, a snapshot, a wee bit of them to allow you to get there, or to allow you to find the path to there. Would be a better way of putting it. So that's going to be towards the end of February, the weekend. I'll get the exact dates, and that'll be released as part of the post. Programme members only. That's just only the only way you get to play at that level is being on the programme and being in the breathworks and the meditations and doing the work before it. You can't walk in off the street, so there'll be a cut-off period where you need to be on the programme for a period before you get a chance to doing that. If that isn't for you, then there's loads of other stuff. The excited in so many different ways. Everything we've created, the one day to change your life, absolutely. They're asking for that. I want to do another one of those, just finding a location for that. And the Friday nights in, and Jill's yoga, which is gaining momentum as well. Yin yoga she had on last night, every Tuesday night. It was yin yoga last night. Great to see how that's going and what people are getting for that, and that's adding to the vortex. As well as everything else, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up in 2025. I want to get healthy for it, so I'm best prepared and ready for it. I'm starting to get excited. I'm enjoying having time away from it. I'm enjoying stopping and having the patience and having the ability to tend to me and be okay with the fact that I'm not there yet, but I know that it's coming. And the only thing I really need to do, or I can do just now, is just to stop, let go, tend to myself, be easy, nourish myself, get myself back on an even keel again. Physically, still not there yet. Spiritually, absolutely feeling it just now, doing great. But the other stuff, the physical stuff needs tended to. That's the bit that's been missing the last wee bit. So that's the plan. Get back on it, prepare for what's coming. Chance favours are prepared. I hate luck. It's amazing when anybody ever says good luck. And I always think that luck is for the paddies and the ill-prepared. Luck is for the Irish and the ill-prepared. That's what I've always said. It's like, fuck luck. Take responsibility and do the work before it, get ready for it. And that's what I'm doing just now, so that when it does come in January, we're good to go. The international retreat, working on that. Michael and Fern just now, they've got the sun on their back. They're down the south of Spain. Again, exciting stuff. Who doesn't want to go away and spend a week in the sun and go through, the meditations and the breath work and the group stuff and the community and the ceremony. There would definitely be a plant-based ceremony down there, no question whatsoever. It's a full week. The swimming pool, the sea, the late nights, the fires, the chats, the healing, the expansion. Brilliant. Just great. The community is awesome. I'm loving the community. I love the community, and I'm loving what's happening to it. I'm loving how it's growing. It's absolutely wonderful. Really grateful for all of you. Thank you so much. Grateful for the new people that are going on about it through the experience that's coming in. That's going to continue. That's my gift. That's my intention to help people. Every Tuesday when I'm here. If I'm not here, it's not going to be on, but if I'm here, it'll be on. Different theme every week, all leading to the same place, the direct experience of the goodness that's inside each and every one of us and taking back our power. Different language, different words, but it all goes to the same place. And to keep moving forward, at the same time, and I'm enjoying it again a wee bit. It's much better than it's been, and I'm looking forward to starting to keep climbing and starting to get back to that place that I'm. It's like this is my the start of not even pre-season. It's the end of the season, so I'm stopping, and then I'll build it up again between now and probably the new year, and we'll go for it in the new year, and go again, take stock, see what needs improved upon, expand, and then go again. Dead simple. Love and light. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Do your best. Keep moving forward as one. The way. There is a way, there really is. The solutions within the way, within the natural way of living, the natural path is there for everybody. As a human being, doesn't matter where you are. There's always an answer, there's always a solution. I know that. And we're excited to share it and continue doing this work. I realised this morning, I'm already doing it and I'm loving doing it. So I need to be okay with where I'm at with it and excited for what's coming up. So onwards and upwards. God bless, take it easy and bye for now.